What's up? I'm your host, Al Smith.
And I'm your co-host, Bria V. Smith.
And this is
the Thinknue podcast.
All right, so I was strolling the interwebs.
Interweb streets.
The interwebs. And there's been a lot of talk about these streaming wars against the Flicky.
Really?
The Lulu and the Nene.
What?
The Flicky, the Lulu and the Nene. Alright, so right now, man, the Flicky, boy, they in trouble. They just lost 130-something thousand subscribers. Now, morally speaking, I don't understand why they would lose 130-something thousand subscribers based on their stance on abortion. They lost it because they were saying that they were not going to basically do business in Georgia based upon, their stance about, abortion. Now, you have to search this online. I found it online. I just kind of skimmed through it. But the next month, which was this month, July, they lost 130-something thousand subscribers. Now,
it's a lot, but it's really not.
If anybody no, it's a lot. It is a lot because they're battling against Lulu and Nene. All right. And so because of that reason, everything that they're doing is can be detrimental. And so because Nene, and I'm saying these names because I don't want to get the video flagged. We're advertising it, and so I don't want to get it flagged. And so if it sounds funny, laugh. If it doesn't, whatever. But anyway, so like I say, 130-something thousand. You got Nene, who is launching their own streaming platform, and
why are you calling them Nene?
For those of you that don't know,
that's the best you could come up with.
For those of you that don't know, Nene owns all of Marvel's collection. Own it. They have it.
Okay, but you just said a brand.
God dog it. Okay. Disney, Hulu, and Netflix.
Well, there that goes.
Jesus Christ, man. And I just said, Jesus. Oh, gosh.
We talked about this, guys. It was one of our previous podcasts, and I was like, you have to be careful. Okay?
Oh, man. I'm sorry. But anyway, don't let this take away from the actual meaning and what we have to share with you all. All right, so basically it goes like this. Netflix is draining. They're draining themselves because they're spending a lot of money on original content. Now, with Disney coming into play, Disney already has billions of dollars that they can spend, and they already have original content, and they're creating more original content. And so they're bringing content that used to be back into play. And so it's like, man, Netflix is in huge trouble right now. Then you have Hulu, who is already who is producing original content, and they have the networks by their side. So it's like, man, Netflix is in a huge trouble. Now, if I was Netflix, this is just me, in my opinion, what I would try to do is I would try to feature up and coming producers, because if they're spending $100 and something million on one piece of content. They have in my opinion, they do have the comedy game on lock. So
they do feature upcoming and independent artists they have in the past. I've seen stuff that's you can clearly tell it's low budget. Not to knock low budget films. I'm sorry, guys.
I would say keep doing that, though.
I've seen that. I don't know. I think it's one of those things that really and honestly, you cannot compete with Disney. At this point, they pretty much are a media bully. You just can't. So instead of focusing on necessarily competing with them, this is where continued innovation comes into play.
That's right.
And so for both of the smaller companies, I would say they have been innovative. That's why they survived this long from their conception until now. And both have had pretty, decent returns on the different things that they're making for the most part.
Not true. Netflix has been losing for a while because they're spending out so much money. Like, they keep going and they keep getting funding from their investors to invest in more original content, which is in return making them like just bleed out money.
But they had to do that, because I remember this was like a couple years ago where they were talking about that Disney was, whispering in the business streets, right? That they were planning on launching their own streaming service. Now, mind you, when this particular whisper was happening, it was before the merger that recently happened. It actually, if I'm not mistaken, was initially when they first got in the talks of buying the Marvel collection, and there was like negotiation. So this is something that has been in the works for Disney for years. Their current CEO has been their CEO since, I believe, 2005, the CEO of Disney. And so definitely you have to give him a lot of credit of being ahead of the company for pioneering and pushing for a lot of the innovation that we're seeing. So if you were Netflix and you knew that pretty much one of the biggest things about your company is the certain content that this particular media giant, I'm going to call Disney a media giant, has, what would you do if you knew that basically more than likely in the near future they were going to take a huge piece of why people use your service? You would have no choice unless you're just crazy and want to make bad business decisions. You would have no choice but to try to figure out how do you offset that. So yeah, you could try to your idea of utilizing smaller producers, but even with that, there's risk and there's people gravitate towards things they know. There are these great phenomenons of content that, wow, we were on YouTube and now we're on a major network. But a lot of those things are years in the making. I can think of 4 or 5, or we just use like your Issa Rae that started online and then goes to a major network. Yeah, but it was years.
I was going to say that as well. So Issa Rae, she started off on Blip TV. I don't know if anyone knows about Blip TV, but if you do, you know that's where she started from. And so her starting from there and then getting her big shot onto a major network, it was like they seen the potential in what she had and what she has. And so to pick her up was a smart move. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was me, I would do.
She was on YouTube, so it's kind of like.
She didn't start off. I don't think she started off.
She didn't start off on YouTube, but I'm saying the pivot was YouTube to TV. It's not like Lit TV. I'm in this dark place of not really having a lot of subscribers, but I'm being consistent. It's not like that. And then I have it was okay, Blip TV, which I think we watched Blip a couple times when it first
used to watch it all the time.
First came out, and then it's kind of like what we're talking about, the streaming wars, all these different platforms. You move to what's more popular and what has things that you need. Sorry, Hulu, you guys are not getting a lot of action in on this conversation. And we have both. We have Hulu and Netflix. For me, even though we pay for cable from a company that I really don't like and I prefer not to name, Comcast. Even though, we have their services, I still prefer Hulu and Netflix because I have a lot of shows that are Netflix originals that I enjoy. I mean, I remember when Orange is the New Black came out. I love that show. Like, for that show alone, it was worth the monthly fee. Then Hulu has shows that come on major networks that I can catch at any time. I love drama type shows, and we're super busy. I don't have time to like wait by the TV. And I know somebody's going to say, well, you could just with your cable company, DVR. No. It's a certain experience that I get when I'm watching these shows on Hulu. And then if I'm really behind, I can just kind of like flow through them. Like, I appreciate that. So I think it's a way for all of these streaming companies to exist. I think it's still ways for them all to still be profitable. I would say maybe for Netflix, like you suggested, they maybe need to kind of review.
I'll say like Netflix is in some deep water, like, and they are on a watercraft, like they are on like no, they're on the floaty, like seriously, no. And so I'm telling you, like, if it was me, because like you think about Redbox, like Redbox came in and it took over Blockbuster. Then from there, then you have the Netflix. Man, who talks about Redbox at this point? Like,
I actually saw somebody going to the Redbox recently.
I mean, yeah, you still see people going to the Redbox, but it's not as profitable as it used to be. And in the future, in the near future, probably it's gonna go out. It's gonna go out of business because it's like you have you have all of these streaming platforms that can give you more, like right then and there, like without the cost of having to leave your house. And so really and truly, like I was saying about Issa Rae, is like I would find people just like that because those people are resourceful. Like I guarantee you they were creating episodes on these other platforms for a fraction of what Netflix is spending on one production. And so it's like, if it was me, what I would try to do is try to go back to my investors and try to go back to the drawing board and really start putting money together to try to find these producers, these up and coming producers that can be resourceful, that have been resourceful, and that are creative, and start doing it. And I'll give you another example. Like, if they did the same thing that YouTube Red is doing, I guarantee you they would be successful. I guarantee it because they already have the fan base. They already have the subscribers. The difference between what YouTube is doing is like, or the reason why YouTube hasn't really, in my opinion, really like popped off is because like people don't want to spend money on YouTube when they can get content on YouTube for free.
Right. And it's a hard shift.
It's a hard shift.
Your subscribers are used to a certain taste, right?
Exactly.
And they're like, hey, well, you'll still keep that, but we want to also add this. That's
exactly.
rough. It's a rough shift.
It's a rough shift.
So you talking about Redbox just made me just like, let me just jump on Redbox. So Redbox, it appears that they have tried to merge in innovation.
Yep,
I think it's just the same thing you're talking about with YouTube. It's hard for say, okay, well, you can rent a movie and you can watch, looks like you can watch certain things online.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like, why would I do that when I could just watch maybe on YouTube, maybe on Netflix, and Hulu also has movies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a hard thing. Do you foresee any, well, I mean, you can't foresee, I guess, like anything as far as them going away anytime soon, but definitely I would agree when profits are unstable for an established business like your Netflix, like your Hulu, that is kind of a telltale sign that trouble's ahead.
Of course. And then the only thing that they can really do at this point is they can start trying to charge people more, and because
which they have,
right, and they've been getting kind of like
appreciate it.
They've been getting slack about that. Which for me, I mean, I understand, like I get it, so I don't really complain about it. But it's like other people,
Speak for yourself.
Other people who have been, a part of the Netflix community for all of these years. Now they see that Disney is coming out, and man, Disney is charging like $6 or $7, something like that. Like that's what they're starting out with. Then you got Hulu, who is like charging a low price as well.
They actually just went down on their pricing, if I'm not mistaken. I have Hulu. They went down, I want to say like $1 recently.
See?
But I don't know. I mean, I can't remember. I should really look. Yeah, because it's $5.99 if you look at their base plan. But see, the thing about Hulu is their pricing has always been pretty competitive, you know, except that, you know, if you want the option without the ad. So it's kind of like, are you patient enough to like sit through those ads and suck it up and pay the $5.99? Or are you like me that's like, I don't want to see any ads.
You know, and that's a great example as well, because it's like, if I was Netflix, I would try to start doing that same thing, because like, just think about Facebook and how Facebook operates, right? So Facebook has been a giant and for years now, and it's because like they learn what they learn from MySpace. So when MySpace was around, like they were one of the major social media platforms at that time. And so just learning from MySpace's mistakes, they were able to
Tom.
Oh, Tom. They were able to stay afloat and to stay the biggest platform, because like the thing that Facebook does that nobody else has done is they will copy. They will mimic on their platform what another platform is offering. And so if it was me, Netflix, if you're listening, you can contact us at infothinknue.com. That's info at thinknue.com. You can send us an email, because I think we can definitely help you out of your situation. For real, like I think that we can definitely help you out of your situation. But basically what I'm saying is, you know, man, copy and then create your own atmosphere, create your own environment. You do have your core viewer base that's gonna stay with you.
I'm one, unless you do something really, really bad.
Yeah, you have your core viewer base that's gonna stay with you until the end. And so it's like, you know, just start really, like I said, finding content creators that have been creating content for a while.
That's $1 million idea. So I would say they should create a whole division if they were going to do it. Like if you're going to do it right. Let's not just like, you know, spend so much time and resources like going through. Mm-hmm. Create just a division of like Netflix independence, right? Or it's just like,
that's a good idea.
The Avengers for streaming.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. And another thing is too is like you were just saying about Hulu. Like introduce the paid stuff. Introduce the ads. You know, and then have an option where it's like they don't offer that.
And one of the big things too, like about Hulu that I forgot about, right? So again, you'll probably hear when we talk about certain businesses that are struggling or different things, innovation. So Hulu has HBO and they have Cinemax. Mm-hmm. You can add those services. Mm-hmm. Okay, HBO is one of those things that a lot of people will keep cable because they wanted to have HBO. Mm-hmm. So with the ability to be like, I can still watch my HBO original series and not have to pay for the other channels that I really don't use, mm-hmm. was genius on the part of Hulu and HBO. Mm-hmm. So I think that that's innovative in itself. And so for Hulu, even though, you know, they're probably not the first two streaming platforms that you'll start probably talking about because of the merge of Disney going forward, mm-hmm. they're still going to always be a strong contender because of HBO and Cinemax. Those are two huge platforms that are and channels that people I know have kept cable for.
Right. Now, I mean, that's a great point. That's a great point. I would say, like I say, you guys better start being creative. Because, boy, if y'all start having to charge $40 per month, I might as well stay with cable and get some premium stuff with cable. You know, so, like I say, it's one of those things where it's like, if they can be creative and like Bria V said, be innovative in their approach, they'll be fine. But it's going to be hard because you have a platform or you have a company that is so huge, which is Disney, and they own a lot of stuff. Like they own a lot of stuff. Stuff that
Disney?
Stuff that people don't even understand, or stuff that people don't even know about. They own as far as like with media, and so.
I mean, what don't they own? Pretty much at this point is more the question. It's not what they own; it's what they don't own.
Exactly.
I mean, anything and everything. Just quick. Here's a quick subsidiary list, right? Pixar, Hulu, ESPN, Marvel, Shop Disney, Disney Cruises. I mean, they have a ton of stuff. And I actually didn't even realize that they own a part of Hulu. So it's kind of like really, Netflix really is really only up against one giant.
Oh, it's a dirty game.
You know, it's like if Disney does it right and they are able to use their streaming platform to also include ESPN stuff, like that in itself is so powerful because how many people know a guy that just loves watching sports stuff? Like, so this is really interesting to watch. I think if you're a small business, take what you can take, which is innovation. And when there's already a road that you're traveling and it seems to be a bigger and faster car coming down the road, you don't necessarily have to get all the way out of the way, but you better figure out a way to keep the distance from what's moving. Because at this point, I can kind of see, you know, just from this conversation of how Netflix is getting tore up. Front, back, inside. Like, it's pretty simplistic at this point to understand.
It's tough. Netflix, I tell you.
We're here for you. I'm a subscriber, so when I'm saying these things, it's like the aunt that you don't see that often.
You're saying it out of love.
But you like her.
Saying it out of love.
Yeah, I really want you guys to win because you have some of my favorite shows.
Yeah. All right. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, share.
Give us your comments. What do you think about the streaming wars? And what's your favorite streaming platform? Are you a Netflixer and chiller? Are you, on the Disney train because they've got Marvel? Because I'm a Marvel fan, but that's neither here nor there. Are you like, you love Hulu? Can't live without Hulu. And if there's a streaming platform that maybe we didn't talk about that you love, tell us about it. We want to hear. We want to know. It's a good conversation. I enjoyed it.
This is Al Smith.
And this is Bria V. Smith.
And this is the Thinknue podcast. We're out.